Be a part of the best pro wrestling podcast today by supporting the Going In Raw Patreon. You can enjoy access to the live taping of the show, exclusive merchandise, and patron-only episodes, and so much more. Support Going In Raw today. Click the link in the description. Hey, friendo, Steve here.
And Larson.
There we got a little bit of news for you, so we figured, hey, what the fuck, we'll bring you some news.
Yeah, I just happened to be here, so why not?
Exactly. This was pretty interesting stuff. CM Punk, who's always a big view-getter for us.
Yeah.
Luckily for us. He was on Russillo and Cannell.
Yeah, one of my favorite sports radio programs.
That's right. And he was asked about a return to wrestling, and he said some interesting things. He said, no, I don't think so.
This is a quote.
This is a quote. But it is one of those never say never things. I like to cover all my bases just so some internet dweeb is going to be like, you said you never wrestle again. But WWE? No, absolutely not. But you never know, I could pop up here and there. Let me explain that to you even better. It's not going to even be televised. It's going to be me in a ninja fucking outfit wrestling one of my buddies, and nobody's ever going to know. It's going to be very Monty Python, so to speak. This is very CM Punk.
Yeah.
Sorry, end quote. This is very CM Punk.
But this is pretty much what we've been saying for a while, that he might pop up like in Ring of Honor to wrestle Colt Cabana or something like that.
Exactly.
But he's never come back in WWE.
Yeah. The funniest thing to me about this whole interview is how defensive he is about his UFC outlook.
Yeah.
And then he said, I may not be the best. We know that. Well, I may not be the worst. Hold on. But I'm not a joke. Well, you need to get in the ring first, buddy boy, and prove that you're not a joke. At that point, you can say you're not a joke. Until then, we can say whatever the fuck we want to say.
Pretty much.
Yeah. You can block us on Twitter all you want.
If you haven't already.
Exactly. So, I don't know. This is kind of interesting. He said he also had some comments about Daniel Bryan.
Was that on?
That was actually on
Colin Cowherd's show, right?
That's right. That was on Colin Cowherd's show. And he essentially said, it's just a bummer.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just more CM Punk. It'll be, look, I just want to know what's going to happen after he gets killed in the UFC and moves on with his life.
He looks at the UFC thing as a career change. This is his new career path. Yeah,
and it's kind of interesting too. He said, I think maybe on Cowherd, he said back in 2011 when he re-signed with the WWE, he doesn't say he necessarily regrets, but he does kind of say, there's a part of me that wishes that I wouldn't have re-signed so I could have started my UFC stuff earlier.
Yeah, he said he would have done it then.
Yeah, I know, but exactly what would we have done? You know what I mean? Like, when he left WWE in 2014, that 3 years was huge.
I know.
That was massive for CM Punk. That built his name to that whole other level where he could just automatically jump to the UFC because he was that name.
Yeah.
2011, he wasn't there yet.
Not quite.
Like, to us, he kind of was after he dropped that pipe bomb, but if he just left that completely, like, we never would have gotten his long title reign.
Yep.
None of that great CM Punk stuff would have ever gone down, and I honestly think Dana White would have just laughed at him. Like, he would have had to have started from the bottom, built his way up. And I think a lot of UFC fans just wanted to see that. Like, I always made the case, I understand that you want to draw money, but drawing any old guy with a name, like bringing him into your company to draw money, to me that delegitimizes your sport. And CM Punk can say, no, I'm not a joke, but it kind of is because you have zero background.
Yeah, and you have zero credibility as of yet.
If, like, I've said this a million times before, if the Sacramento Kings decided to sign PewDiePie to their fucking roster, that would be a joke to me. You know what I mean? Like, even if PewDiePie was playing basketball like on B-level squads, recreational squads.
Yeah, in a rec league or something,
Exactly. Even our friend Hilton, he's played in A leagues.
Yeah.
And the recreational, guys who have played in Europe.
Sort of like if I was, when I played baseball.
Yeah.
Like if the A's had signed me.
Exactly. That's exactly what it would be like. If you were like super popular on YouTube and the A's signed you because you played a little bit of baseball in high school,
and they wanted
you'd still have more experience than CM Punk has in fighting.
That's true. I've played a lot of baseball in my life.
Yeah. So, I don't know, like, this is just typical CM Punk. Like, he's kind of, like we said, he's a prideful guy. He's got a lot of shit coming his way. And so he's got to say something, and this is what he's saying, and that's fine.
But we'll find out in, 3 months?
Yeah, fuck. He might surprise us all and whip Mickey Gall's ass.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's always possible. Like, he does have the advantage of...
he's fought in front of huge crowds before, so he probably won't have that bothering him.
He's performed in front of big crowds before.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Okay, I should have said fought in front of huge crowds before, so he won't have the anxiety or performance anxiety in that respect. You wouldn't think, this is an entirely new endeavor, so he will, understandably have some butterflies, I'm sure.
Yeah. So we'll all find out after UFC 203 in September, assuming he actually fights there. which is still up in the air.
He'll fight.
You think so?
Yeah, why not?
Because he'll probably be injured. Anyways, we got some more news for you. Brock Lesnar confirmed to be at the WWE draft.
Well, only confirmed by Wrestling Observer, not by WWE.
Oh, okay, well.
So it's confirmed by Dave Meltzer that he'll be there.
There you go. Well, that's good.
I wonder if he's even going to be drafted, or if he'll show up with Heyman and say, Brock is such a special attraction that he transcends brand.
This is 10 days after his UFC fight at 200.
Yes.
Against Mark Hunt. Gotta make sure you don't mispronounce that.
Mark Hunt.
Mark Hunt. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if they have a plan for if he beats Mark Hunt, if he loses against Mark Hunt, or if he, I don't know. It'd be interesting to see if they have a plan. Are they going to draft him? Are they going to consider him? Paul Heyman obviously will be his advocate.
Yeah.
And is he going to try to do some negotiating behind the scenes on camera? Because that's how shit works in WWE.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see. It'll be interesting to see where the part-timers like him and even The Undertaker go.
And I'm curious to see if they start setting up his SummerSlam feud.
You think? It looks like it's not going to be against the Wyatts. Huh?
No, it doesn't. Yeah. So I wonder who it's going to be.
I don't know. Maybe Mark Hunt will come over to the WWE.
Could be.
Yeah.
Another talent swap.
Yeah. Let's see here. And we also, last little bit of news, Prince Puma from Lucha Underground.
Yeah, King Ricochet.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. Anyways, he might be headed to the WWE.
Yeah, apparently his Lucha Underground contract has expired.
Obviously, he's not participating in the Cruiserweight Classic.
No.
But Will Ospreay is.
Yeah.
And they, of course, had that really sort of classic match now that everybody's talking about on the independent circuit.
Yeah.
And that big man Vader sort of talks some shit to him. Apparently, that's kind of a...
Vader is fighting Will Ospreay.
That's a work. I know, exactly. He's fighting Will Ospreay now.
I know, that's great.
I'm going to want to see that.
I know.
Do we know where are they fighting?
Revolution Pro Wrestling in England, I believe.
There you go. Hopefully they'll have it on pay-per-view for less than $35 like Ring of Honors. Look, $10 is a perfectly acceptable price to pay for an independent pay-per-view.
Well, Ring of Honor disagrees. If you want to see your Briscoe brothers, you got to pay top dollar.
I love the Briscoe brothers, man. They scare me. Ooh, they scare me. I love those guys. Dem boys. They're scary as shit.
Yeah, they are.
Oh, God. I'll always love this picture right here. I forget which one of our friend does. I'll have to source them. But the picture that I'm putting up right now,
no, I know
as
what
a
you're
Briscoe
talking
boy.
about.
That's my Twitter banner.
Oh yeah,
is that picture?
The first time I saw that, I didn't notice anything had been changed.
It's so legitimately you as a Briscoe brother.
I know.
That is so good.
The position of my face, I think, is perfect. I know. It's so weird.
Oh goodness.